Ever since the first one was introduced in 1974, the 911 Turbo has been the point at which Porsche's most famous sports car morphs into a supercar. Today, with four-wheel drive and its massive power output, it remains the archetypal day-to-day supercar. And if you want even more power, you can go for this model, the Turbo S. But for the last decade or so, the 911 has had a rival in the shape of the Nissan GT-R. Nissan has constantly evolved this technology-filled car and engaged in a top Trump-style battle of supremacy with Porsche, trying to achieve faster Nurburgring times and even quicker 0 to 60 performance. But what do this pair like to drive in the UK, away from the restrictions of the road, and which one's going to be fastest against a stopwatch? Well, let's find out in an Auto Express track battle. The most powerful 911 in the range, the Turbo S, costs £22,000 more than the Turbo. But you do get an extra 39 brake horsepower, taking the output of the 3.8 litre twin-turbo flat 6 up to 552 brake horsepower and delivering a whopping 700 newton meters of torque. At just under 80,000, the Nissan GT-R is a pound per performance bargain compared to the Porsche. Nissan's technology pack showcases a 3.8 litre twin-turbo engine and pumps out 542 brake horsepower and 632 newton meters of torque. I've got all of the settings in their raciest position basically, so I've got the drivetrain in the race setting, I've got the suspension in the race setting, and I've got the stability control turned off. Now, it's been a while since I've driven a GT-R, and you just forget just what a serious car this is. Now, you sort of expect Porsche to curate a car like the 911 Turbo. I mean, it's sort of what they do, but the thing that amazes me about the GT-R is that it's so different from everything else that Nissan makes. And every time you jump in one, you just have to rewire your mind to realise just how capable it is. So, like on this warming up lap, like the Porsche, if you get greedy with the throttle in these damp conditions, obviously it will transfer into power oversteer, but you can feel the diff and everything doing its work to try and help the car gain grip and fire itself forward out of a corner. The one thing with the GT-R is though, you can't hide its mass, so obviously you feel like you're sitting in a much higher up car than you are in the 911. You've got the engine in the front, and although the car's got an amazing amount of grip and the ambient transmission does its work really cleverly, you can feel it working hard, and you can feel its mass. It works its tyres harder as well, and in its practice laps it runs out of brakes quicker than the Porsche as well. So that's the end of the jerky warm the tyres up lap. Let's try a nice smooth lap and see what sort of lap time we can do. Double clutch gearbox, same as the Porsche. Not quite as crisp on the downshift from the blip, but still a nice fast gearbox. GT-R's good through there. Here you can feel that extra mass over the Porsche. You can feel it working its tyres harder than the 911. Onto the straight. Again, the brakes are really good. It does, again, squirm a bit more than the 911 on the braking. Traction's fantastic on the exit, same as the Porsche, up to 4th gear. Gearing's a little shorter than the Porsche, but to be honest, we're using roughly the same gears around the circuit. A bit of oversteer there on the exit. When it does transfer to oversteer, you have to be quick. And into the last corner, just trying to put the rear braking away. You can feel it doing all its clever stuff. Hard on the power, up to 4th gear. And through this high-speed change of direction, it's just as good as the Porsche through there, which is quite amazing. Although on the exit, a bit of understeer on the exit where the front tyres start to give in and surrender into the last couple of corners, trying to keep it smooth. Down to 2nd gear. It's an awesome piece of kit, this. And then accelerating across the line, and there we go. So the Nissan recorded a lap time of 69.3 seconds, so let's see how we get on in the Porsche. Now obviously this car cost over £20,000 more than the standard Turbo, which seems like quite a lot for around about 40 extra horsepower, but you do get more than that. You get all the goodies thrown on for standard. So you get ceramic brakes, you also get the PDDC active roll system, so that means there's hardly any roll in the car. The active roll system controls body movement, so you get all the goodies thrown in, and as soon as you come down the pit lane, the performance on tap is just mind-blowing. There's just so few road cars I've driven that feel anywhere near as quick as this car. And the engine is so quick to rev, it's really deep-throated as you're on the power. Obviously PDK, there's no manual option with turbo now, same as GT3, and to be honest, the PDK is well suited to the car. The shifts are really fast, as you can see there as well from that last corner. Just trying to get a bit of heat into the tyres, and it might be four-wheel drive, but when the car's natural instinct is to power oversteer when you just got cold tyres on the track. Steering's lovely, it's really good feel through the steering. And so it's just no body roll, but the only thing you do notice is that the nose rises up and the car just squats down as you power out of the corner. So let's start a flying lap. Conditions have been really tricky today, so the track is really damp, so into the last corner, and then just trying to get on the power smoothly across the start-finish line. Third gear, just into the limit of third gear, down to second. Lovely blip on the downshift. The car's just so much bite to the front end, it just wants to turn. Lovely feeling of lightness and bite to the front end. Traction's really good through that long left-hander, hard on the power, up to fourth gear, over 100 miles an hour already, 122 miles an hour, braking hard. Brakes are fantastic, those ceramics, down through the gears, into the chicane. Change of direction is fantastic, a little bit of oversteer on the exit, but quite controllable. Fourth gear again over 100 miles an hour, down to third gear. Now into these fast mid-speed corners, it's just lovely, there's so much balance. Front end goes in, and you're on the power, you can just feel what's going on. It's beautifully balanced. It does feel not as engaging and edgy and as well suited to the track as the GT3, but it's just so much performance. Through that high-speed SCs, again, the body control's excellent. Hard on the brakes, ABS coming in, squirming a bit, but still really stable. A little bit of understeer, hard on the power, third, back to second, lovely blip, into the last corner. Trying to keep it smooth and across the line. So what's our verdict on one of the most contentious arguments in the world of motoring? Well, it's been drizzling all day and the track conditions have been changing, but the Porsche was 0.4 of a second faster than the GT-R, and it did its lap time in greasier conditions. Now I can hear you shouting, yes, the GT-R is a lot cheaper and it unquestionably punches above its weight. But we'd argue that the Porsche's extra desirability and its better day-to-day usability help counteract some of that price difference. And don't forget, in the shape of the less powerful but far more track-focused GT3, Porsche have another weapon in their armoury for the never-ending battle with the giant-killing GT-R.